Good morning, children. Welcome to the online session of physics class. So, myself, Manohar Aji. I'm a mathematics teacher as well as I'm doing physics also, as you know that. So, in class 9, we have 5 lessons to complete in physics part. So, motion, force and laws of motion, gravitation, work and energy, sound. So these are the 5 lessons we have for the physics part. Out of these 5 lessons, due to the outbreak of coronavirus, some of the concepts were removed. Force and laws of motion, they have removed some of the concepts. Then sound, they have removed some of the concepts. Apart from that, we have all the concepts in motion, gravitation, work and energy. So these 3 lessons, we have all the concepts. Then force and laws of motion, we have some concepts. Sound, we have some concepts to go. Okay. So let us start with the first lesson, motion. Okay. So if you have a CBSE textbook, science textbook, okay, this will be a chapter 8, motion. Okay. So let us start with the chapter 8. I think you have studied the motion in your class 6 or class 7, but class 8 you don't have any motion lesson. We have force and pressure. Okay, to make the object to movement, so we need a force. So that we have studied, but motion we don't have any concepts of motion in class 8. You have studied about motion in class 6 and class 7. Okay, some of the basic concepts of motion you have studied. You have different types of motion, that is straight line motion, circular motion, or otherwise it may take zigzag motion, then otherwise it is a vibration. Okay, so these things and all, we have different types of motion you have studied in your earlier classes. So let us understand what is motion first. When we can say that the object is at motion, and when we can say that the object is at rest. Okay, so to understand that, we need the object and we need the position of the object. So when we are keeping the object at some position, at some particular position, with respect to the time, if the object is changing its position, then we can say that the object is at motion, the object is at moving. When the object is at moving, then we can say that the object is at motion. When object is not moving with respect to the time, then I can say that the object is at rest, right? So there are 2 possibilities. The object maybe is at rest, the object is at maybe in motion. Most of the objects in our day-to-day life will be in motion. Okay, so let us go through these lines. In everyday life, we see some objects at rest and others in motion. We can say that some objects at rest and others in motion, like birds fly, fish swim, blood flows through veins and arteries, and cars move. In these examples, you can see that object is at motion. Birds fly, birds will be flying, that means birds will be moving. Fish swim, so fish will be moving. Blood flows, blood will be flowing through our veins and arteries. And cars move. These are the examples. Atoms, molecules, planets, stars and galaxies are all in motion. We all know that atoms, molecules, planets and stars and galaxies are all in motion. We often perceive an object to be in motion when its position changes with time. So we often perceive an object to be in motion. So how to understand that object is in motion? When its position changes with respect to the time. It has to change its position. It has to change from one position to the other position with respect to the time. When time changes, it has to change its position. Then only I can say that the object is at rest. Suppose I will be keeping the book here. Okay, at 11 o'clock I will be keeping the pen here. If I came back at 11:30, the pen is here only at this position only, then I can't say that the pen is in motion, because it is not changing its position with respect to the time. I had given 11 to 11:30. I had kept the pen at 11 o'clock, and I came back at 11:30, and I'm seeing the pen is at the same place only. Then I can't say that the pen is in motion. The pen is at rest. The pen is not in motion. The pen is at rest. So this is about object is at rest and object is at motion. However, there are situations where the motion is inferred through indirect evidences. So in these situations, like in bird, fly, fish, swim, blood flows, atoms, molecules, not in planets, stars, and galaxies. These things and all where motion is, we can say that the object is moving by seeing the objects itself. In some of the objects like birds fly, fish swim, and blood, we can't say that directly blood flows. That is indirect evidences. Okay, so in some of the situations we can observe that object is at motion. We can directly find out that. But in some of the situations where the motion is inferred through indirect evidences, in some of the situations it will be indirect evidences. It is not a direct evidences, it is indirect evidences. Say suppose example, atoms, molecules, planets, stars, and galaxies, and earth is moving around the sun. These are all, we can't say that it's directly it is moving. We need some indirect evidences. By indirect evidences I can say that these are moving. For example, we infer the motion of air by observing the movement of dust, and motion of air also. Motion of air, I can't say that air is moving, but it is having some indirect evidences. What is the indirect evidences? By observing the movement of dust. You can observe the movement of dust and movement of leaves and branches of tree. So you can observe the movement of leaves and movement of trees. Since trees are moving and leaves are moving, those movements we can observe that, and branches of trees we can observe that. Why it is moving? In the sense, because air is moving, therefore this dust and leaves and branches of trees are all moving. So these are the indirect evidences to the movement of the air. So that is about indirect evidences. What causes the phenomena of sunrise, sunset, and changing of seasons? What causes this? What causes the phenomena of sunrise, sunset, and changing of seasons? Is it due to the motion of the earth? Yeah, of course it is due to the motion of the earth. You know very well that what causes the phenomena of sunrise, sunset, and changing of seasons. Is it due to the motion of the earth? Yes, of course it is due to the movement of the earth. It is due to the movement of the earth. If it is true, then why don't we directly perceive the motion of the earth? If it is true, then why don't we directly perceive the motion of the earth? That means why we are not we are not feeling that earth is moving, right? We can feel that earth is in rest only. So why we are not feeling that earth is in motion? An object, so here we are having a simple example to understand that an object may appear to be moving for one person and stationary for some other. An object may appear to be moving for one person and stationary for some other. For example, we can observe this example. For the passengers in a moving bus, the roadside trees appears to be moving backwards. This is true. You can observe that while you are traveling in a bus, you can observe that the outside trees are plants and all. You can observe that both those buildings and all. You can observe that inside the bus you are traveling, like it is like moving. Roadside trees appears to be moving backwards. It is moving like backwards. A person standing on the roadside pursues the bus along with the passengers as moving. Suppose a person is standing outside the bus along the roadside, you can pursue the person standing, and you can observe that passengers is moving inside the bus as well as the bus is moving and passenger is moving. However, the passenger inside the bus sees his fellow passenger is to be at rest, but the fellow, suppose you are having a passenger, one more passenger in the bus itself, you can observe that you are not moving, you are at rest, right? So this is about A passenger inside the bus sees his fellow passenger is to be rest. What do these observations indicates? That is, suppose you are moving, the object is moving or object is not moving, that will be we can observe by the position of the object only, by seeing the position of the object only. Okay, so this is the example where we can understand that why we are not feeling that earth is not moving, but earth is moving, but we are not feeling that earth is moving. So this is an example for that. So that is depends on the position of the objects and positions of the persons. So most motions are complex. Some objects may move in a straight line. Most motions are complex. Most of the motions are complex, that is difficult to understand. Most motions are complex, it is not easy. Some objects may move in a straight line, some of the objects are moves in a straight line. So these are the different types of the motions. Others may take a circular path, some may take rotate, and few others may vibrate. These are all motions only. Even they are rotating in the sense, that is also a motion, rotating and moving. Few others may vibrate in the sense, of course it is a moving, it is not it is not keeping at only one place, it is changing its position. So there may be situations involving a combination of this. Some of the situations where we are having combinations of all this also, or combinations of any two, either circular or otherwise vibrate, circular and rotate, circular and vibrate, combinations of this. In this chapter we shall first learn to describe the motion of objects along a straight line. In this chapter we are going to learn the motion of objects along a straight line. First we are going to study the motion of objects along a straight line. We shall also learn to express such motions through simple equations and graphs. So we are expressing those motions along with the graphs and simple equations for the straight line motion. Later we will discuss way of describing circular motion. Later we shall discuss ways of describing circular motion. Later we are going to study about the circular motion. We will understand the circular motion and we will be describing the circular motion. So we are having activity. So let us read the activity. Discuss whether the walls of your classroom are at rest or in motion. So you need to discuss, okay, whether the walls of your classroom are at rest or in motion. Since you are not in classroom, you can observe in your home itself whether the walls of your home are in rest or in motion. So how to observe that? You need to observe the wall from today. You go back and come again tomorrow and observe your wall, whether the wall is at the same position or it will be going to change the position. So observe that and write whether your walls of your home are at rest or in motion. Okay. Have you ever experienced activity 8.2? Have you ever experienced that train in which you are sitting appears to be moved while it is at rest? Have you ever experienced that the train in which you are sitting appears to move while it is at rest? So if you are observed this, if you are experienced this, write this activity also. Discuss and share your experience. So you can discuss this and share your experience. Okay. So this is activity 8.1 and activity 8.2. So in the next class we will go for describing the motion, how to describe the motion, and then motion along the straight line. So we will discuss this regarding the motion. So I will suggest you watch more and more videos regarding the motion through YouTube. You can watch the videos regarding the motion. Okay, so we will discuss describing the motion and motion along a straight line in the next class. Okay, so thank you. We will discuss further in the next class. This is about introduction about the motion. We will go further in the next class and we'll discuss more about the motion. Okay, so thank you.